What's up, everyone? False Black Bear here. Haven't uploaded in a very long time. As you can see, it's been years. I've been putting a lot of hours into Helldivers. I really like this game. I really do. I have probably close to 800, 900 hours into this game. But I think there's a lot of stuff that they could fix. So we're going to do a just kind of a flash round here. Um, of just going through thinking, me thinking, talking about what I believe they should change in the game. We're just going to go down the line. So I'm going to try to spend no less than 30 seconds on each thing. So right off the bat, machine gun. If you guys know Odo, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He actually said the machine gun should be a disposable. And I actually kind of agree with him because there's really not that big of a difference between the machine gun, the stalwart, and the heavy machine gun, other than armor pen and ammo. But that's really it. It's kind of boring. So the machine gun, I think it should be a disposable. You give this thing about 250 rounds, maybe 300 rounds. Have bump up the fire rate really fast. This thing is just a bullet hose and just mow people down. And maybe put this on like a 2-minute cooldown. I think it would be, feel pretty good. Anti-material rifle, they got to fix the handling. The handling and the scope, it just feels weird. It seems very delayed. I don't know. It could be definitely a little bit more snappy. I hate being a sniper and having like being forced to have very slow movements, especially when ADSing. So they got to fix the handling. I think they should give it a couple more rounds per mag, and then give it probably 2 more mags, and then it'll feel good. Stalwart is fine. I don't think you need to touch it. EAT, fine. I don't think you need to touch it. Recoilless rifle, same thing. Flamethrower, it's kind of pathetic that the crisper creates a larger area of effect on the ground than the flamethrower does. So I think the flamethrower obviously should have the largest area of effect when on the ground, and I think they need to allow this thing to shoot a little bit further. Flamethrowers in real life, I mean, you can shoot this thing 20, 30, yards in real life. So I think they maybe need to add another 5 to 10 meters of throw for the flame, and then fix the fire. Honestly, the fire's been broken for a while. Just fucking fix it. Autocannon, I think it's fine. I don't really think you need to change anything about it. Heavy machine gun, I would say reduce the recoil by about 15 to 20% and give it 1 more mag. That's really about it. I like the heavy machine gun, but I think just giving it 1 more mag, a little bit less recoil. That way you don't have to wear specific armor or get into a kneeling or prone position just for this gun to feel good. I think adding those little things, tweaking those little things will make this feel a lot better. Airburst rocket launcher. Certainly need to reduce the reload time. I would say by at least 1.5 seconds, if not 2 to 2.5 seconds, and then give it probably 2 more rockets. I think it'll feel a lot better. Commando's good. Don't need to touch it. Railgun is fine. Don't touch it. Spear, I think you need to give this thing at least 1 or 2 more rockets, and then there should be some sort of like cancel lock mechanic where if I'm zooming in, let's say, and there's 2 enemies within that identification circle, that tracking circle, and it's tracking onto one enemy that I don't want, I should be able to cancel that lock and switch to something else. So I feel like if they fix that, if they fix the targeting, make it a little bit quicker, a little bit snappier, and then give me the option to cancel it out and track something else, that'd be very good. And then, like I said, add 1 to 2 more rockets. The Wasp, I think maybe you need to add 2 more rockets per canister, and then the airburst is honestly fucking pathetic. So I think the airburst, when you're shooting all 7, that area of effect needs to be doubled, if not tripled, and the damage needs to be tripled, if not quadrupled. That airburst just is so bad feeling. I'm like, I only get 5 canisters, and if I'm launching 7 rockets in the air, they've got to do more damage than what they're at now. It just doesn't feel good. Gatling barrage, fine, don't touch it. Orbital airburst strike, I don't understand why the orbital airburst strike is on a longer cooldown than the orbital Gatling barrage, because it's medium armor pen and the Gatling barrage is heavy. So they either need to bump this thing up and give it heavy armor pen, and maybe one more salvo, because four is fine. I don't know. I feel like five could be better. Or you keep it at medium armor pen, but then it's got to be on at least the same cooldown, if not a shorter cooldown than the Gatling Barrage. I don't know anybody that's picking the Airburst over the Barrage. It doesn't make any sense. So they got to fix that. 120 is fine. Don't touch it. 380, maybe bring in the that Barrage just a little bit tighter. Nothing crazy, maybe 10-15%. Orbital Walking Barrage, just literally like left, right, like you're walking one after the other. It's not. It looks like it in this clip. It's not exactly. There's some that fire behind the last one. There's some that fire way out to the right or left. I think they need to tighten the walking of it by probably 30 meters from side to side. And then again, like left, and then a little bit more in front to the right, and then a little bit more in front of that, back to the left. Just make it simple and more consistent. Orbital Laser. This thing, I just found out, only does 600 damage per second, which is fucking pathetic because the Scythe does 350 damage per second. So I think this laser's massive. You got to make this thing do like 1,000 damage per second, 1,200 damage per second. I also think you need to give it at least 4, if not 5 uses. When playing on level 10, you almost have to reserve one of these for extraction, which means that over the course of that 25, 30, 35 minutes, you can only use 2 of these if you want to save one for extraction. And I just feel like I'm getting punished every single time I use one. It's like, oh, I threw one. Oh, shit, I still have 20 minutes left in this mission. It's like, oh, I only have 2 left. I don't know. Give it 4 or 5 uses and definitely give it more damage. There's some enemies that it just spends way too much time on, considering how long the cooldown is. Napalm Barrage is ridiculously strong. You don't need to touch it. Rail Cannon Strike, honestly, what I think is this needs to have a 40-second cooldown. And you can actually reserve up to 3 charges. So after 40 seconds, I can throw it down and it'll target 1 enemy. If I wait 80 seconds, I can throw this down, it'll target 2 of the largest enemies. And if I wait 120 seconds, I can throw that ball down and it can target the 3 largest enemies in the area. I think that'll feel really, really good, but also not make this thing feel too overpowered. Strafing Run, maybe widen the strafe, the affected area, and then give it the A10 Warthog, and then it's perfect. Eagle Strike, fine. I don't think you need to touch it. Cluster Bomb, fine, but there's always that one cluster that ends up finding you, regardless of whether you're standing 50 feet away or 150 feet away. I just feel like there's always that stray just cluster that finds you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they can do with that, but other than that, it feels pretty good. Napalm Strike is good. I think maybe the fire should last a little bit longer on the ground, maybe like an extra 5 seconds, but I'm kind of being picky. Jump Pack, the cooldown is fine, but I wish the Jump Pack could either launch you higher into the air or further forward. Eagle Smoke, same with Orbital Smoke. Smokes is what it is, guys. Like, I don't think they can change it. I don't know how they would change it. Yeah, so I don't think they need to do anything. 110 Rocket Pods, this needs to be more accurate, and I think they need to do more damage. So I'm fine with the 4 uses if your ship modules are fully upgraded, but they have to hit every time. There's a lot of times where they just miss or like partially hit, and it just doesn't feel good when they miss. And I think they need to do like another probably 20% more damage. 500 kg is fine. Don't touch it. Fast recon vehicle, make it so it doesn't feel like I'm driving on ice, even if I'm driving on sand. This is just, I don't know, the driving mechanics are so wonky and it's just so slippery. There's just no weight to this vehicle. So yeah, that's the only thing I can recommend. Orbital Precision Strike, fine. I wouldn't be upset if they brought this down, I don't know, the cooldown maybe by like another 10 seconds, and then it'd probably feel really good. Orbital Gas Strike, I feel like this gas needs to cover a much larger area. I'm thinking at least 30%. You know, I mean, gas fills the container or the space that it's introduced to. I feel like it should just be more spread out. I think the cooldown is fine. Yeah, just the area of effect, maybe 25 to 30% increase. Feel really good. Orbital EMS, this is so fucking easy. Have it stun every enemy in the game outside of the brand new Hive Lords. There's no reason why this thing should not be able to stun Bile Titans, Harvesters, Factory Striders. It's it's stupid. I don't know why it hasn't. Smoke, we already talked about this. They don't need to really change it. HMG is good. I don't think you need to touch it. Shield generator relay. This thing needs to be way smaller. This thing is enormous, right? Like this thing is enormous, and I think that's why it feels so bad because the shield gets depleted so quickly because it is the size of the moon. They could reduce this by probably 30 or 40%. It's gonna probably save a lot of projectiles from hitting it, and yeah, I think it'll just feel a lot better if it's smaller. With the way it is now, 4 people in mechs can easily fit inside this thing, and I don't know. It doesn't need to be so big. That's not what she said. Tesla Tower is fine. I don't think it needs to be changed. Grenadier embattlement. This thing needs to rotate 360 degrees like the HMG does. This thing, you're a sitting duck. Unless you have somebody with you, like shown on screen, to cover your back, or you throw a sentry behind you to cover your back, you're left vulnerable from behind and even from the sides too. This thing doesn't even fully cover 180 degrees. So I think I'm fine with the amount of ammo. I think you get like 60 shots with this, 50, 60 shots. It's a lot, but it needs to swivel 360 degrees. I don't see anybody using this outside of defense missions, and even then, I've hardly ever seen anybody using them. I think all the mines are fine. Maybe make it a little bit easier for us to see, and make sure that they don't just disappear into the ground. But if you can fix that, I don't think anything else needs to be changed. Supply pack, awesome. Don't change it. Grenade launcher, I think give it one more sleeve of grenades, and it's going to feel really good. Laser cannon, it needs, I don't know what it needs. This one is hard for me. I don't know if it needs to shoot for, I would say, probably 2, 3, 4 seconds longer, or it needs to cool down quicker. Maybe both. Maybe have it shoot for 2 or 3 seconds longer, and then have the cooldown be 2 or 3 seconds shorter. Or maybe you have it do like more damage over time. So for the first 2 seconds, it's doing X amount of damage per second. For the next 2 seconds, maybe it goes up by 100. The next 2 seconds, it goes up by another 100, so on and so forth. Incendiary mines, like I talked about, all mines are fine. Garda Grover, fine. I don't think you need to touch it. Ballistic shield backpack, good. Arc thrower, I think you should be able to arc to another 1 or 2 extra enemies. Yeah, I don't know. I think 1 or 2 extra enemies it should be able to arc to, and this is me having it fully upgraded with the ship module upgrades. I know it grants another 1 or 2 enemies. I think they need to add an additional 1 or 2 enemies that this thing can affect. Quasar cannon, allow it to charge on your back. It felt so good several months ago when there was that quote unquote glitch where it was charging on your back. Just have it do that. Don't change the cooldown time. Don't change anything else about it. Just have it allow it to charge on our back, please. Shield generator pack, fine. Don't need to touch it, I don't think. Gas, like I already said, mines are fine. When it comes to sentries, I think the sentries should be programmed to only target enemies in which they're capable of taking down based on their armor penetration. So machine gun and Gatling are only medium armor pen. I don't think they should focus on things like Hulks and tanks and Chargers and Bile Titans. I think they should focus on the largest enemy that they can take down first. So in this case, they should be able to, maybe like Alpha Commanders, focus on those and then focus on the chaff after that. The Warriors, the Hive Guards, the Pouncers, whatever. And that goes for all of them. Autocannon, Rocket. I think Autocannon and Rocket need to target the largest enemies first. So if I throw it down and there's a Bile Titan on screen, it needs to target that first over freaking Hunters, right? I think the mortars are fine. Patriot Exosuit, I think take the rockets from 14 and bump it up to 20. And then I would say take the 1,000 rounds of machine gun ammunition and bump it up to 1,250. Then I think this is going to feel really good. Emancipator Exosuit, I don't think you need to change it. Oh, but for both exosuits, you got to give them a lot more a lot more health. I came up with 5 tiers, a completely separate ship module just for the exosuits. Tier 1, 15% reduction in cooldown time. Tier 2, 20% increase in ammo. Tier 3, 25% more HP or armor. Tier 4, add a stratagem launcher to the mech that allows you to throw stratagems while you're inside. And Tier 5, allow us to bring both mechs in a mission. Okay, it's not that fucking hard, Arrowhead. I came up with this shit in 2 minutes, and you guys haven't added any ship module upgrades to the game in like 13 months. Get your shit together, guys. Sterilizer, I think this thing just needs to create a massive cloud of gas. This thing is essentially a single target weapon, and this thing needs to just vomit gas all over the screen. I think it needs to have a longer range, and it just needs to fill the entire area with gas. Then this can be just the most absurd, crowd control support weapon we have. Dog breath, perfect. Don't touch it. Directional shield. This thing is weird. I don't know what you do to change it. Honestly, I don't know. I'd say keep it as is. It needs to be better, but I have no idea how to actually fix it. I don't know. Flame Sentry, give it 100% flame resistance, and this thing, you got to give this thing another like 10 or 15 meters of of reach. This thing just, its range is so short, and and enemies get so close, and then it just ends up lighting itself on fire, and then it just dies. So fix that shit. Anti-tank emplacement, good. Don't need to touch it. Portable Hell Bomb, good. Don't need to touch it. Hover Pack, fine. Very fun to use. I don't think you need to touch it. One True Flag, honestly, remove it from the game. Oh, it's undemocratic. How dare you? This thing fucking sucks. If they're not going to add any type of buff to it, where like you plan it down, it gives you some sort of buff, some sort of aura, whatever that may be. There's a dozen different options out there that they could do. If you're not going to do that, then just take it out of the game. Like, why even have this thing? This thing is dumb, especially now that they nerfed the melee. Like, that's the only thing that this thing brought to the table, and now you just made the melee suck. So this thing is literally useless. Guard Dog Canine. This thing shoots way too slow. This thing shoots every like 5 seconds. And that's if it's like, that's shooting as quick as it can. Sometimes this thing just hesitates for whatever reason and doesn't shoot. So then sometimes it's going like 7, 8, 9 seconds because I don't know. I've had weird issues where it just doesn't target enemies. So it's got to shoot quicker. It shoots every 5 seconds. I'd say this thing's got to shoot like every 3 seconds. The de-escalator, it feels great in squads, but when you're on your own, this thing doesn't feel good at all. So I think they got to increase the damage by probably 25%, and then they got to reduce the cooldown. Dude, this thing, I can shoot off all 6 rounds in like a second and a half, 2 seconds, and then it takes me 10 seconds to reload. So I think they gotta increase the damage by 25%. They probably need to reduce the cooldown by 30%. The laser sentry, again, I think it needs to target weak spots. So you can see on the Hulk, it was targeting the eye, but then in this next clip, it targets the heavy devastator and it's hitting the shield. I don't know. This thing just blows up way too quickly. So I think it needs to focus on weak spots. And I also think this thing should be able to shoot for like probably 30 to 40 seconds uninterrupted before it blows up. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's maybe 20 seconds. Warpack is great. Don't touch it. Epoch, I don't know. It's high risk, mid reward. So I feel like, I don't know, like the rail cannon or the rail gun, the minimum charge you need takes out basically everything in the game. So I feel like they should make this similar where once you get to like 70%, this thing can do a lot of damage. And then once you risk it, then it does a little bit more. But I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't do that much. And I don't understand why this thing doesn't really have like any demolition force. This thing can't close bug holes. This thing can't open up shipping crates and containers. I don't know. It just feels weird because it creates such a big explosion, but it has no demo force to it. It just feels odd. The solo silo, I think this thing needs to be on like a 30-second shorter cooldown than it already is. I think it needs to. I think they need to get rid of the aggro that it draws from enemies. I just think it's stupid that enemies target this. I understand when enemies target like a Gatling sentry or a Tesla tower because it's hurting them. This isn't hurting anybody, so I don't understand why they go for it. And it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. Like, you have to, like, if you want to use this, especially on higher levels, you essentially have to throw it down and shoot it off immediately, or else enemies are going to destroy it. And it has like no HP. Like, if you cough in its direction, it'll probably blow up. So you gotta get rid of the aggro that it draws from enemies. I think put it on a 30-second shorter cooldown and allow it to at least blow up the detector towers. I'm not talking about jammers. This thing doesn't have to blow up the jammers. But the fact that smoke canisters and the EMS can blow up detector towers, but this massive laser guided missile can't, is fucking retarded. Like, the developers constantly talk about realism and balance and being grounded and, have it being military accurate. Well, how can a gas canister or not a smoke canister blow up a structure, but a fucking massive rocket can't? Like, Arrowhead, like, stop being fucking dumb. Like, just have it do it. Just give it 50, right? Expendable napalm, this thing is good. Honestly, I don't think they need to touch it right now. I know the 2 minutes is kind of long, but I don't know. Against like the Illuminate and the bugs, I've shot one rocket and I've gotten 20, 30, even 40 kills with one rocket. So when you use it effectively and when it really spreads out, like, I actually don't even mind the 2 minutes, because with two rockets, I've gotten over 40 kills with two rockets. And I'm like, okay, the 2 minutes is justifiable. So, yeah, I don't think they really need to change it. Spear gun, they got to give spear gun more ammo. It only has 12 rounds. Even if you run it with the Siege Ready, it only has 15. I don't know. I just think I think this thing needs at least 15 base. And then if you were Siege Ready, maybe it gives you, again, an additional 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. I feel like this should have roughly the same ammo as the railgun. The railgun has 20, so this thing I think should have 15 to 20. All right, that's the video. If you hated it, let me know. If you have any suggestions, also let me know. If I swore too much, get the fuck over it. Be an adult, and I'll see you guys on the next one.